Hey everyone, I'm Benjamin. This is Clover, and welcome to my book club. It's June now, so it's time for all of the wrap up for May. Well, I'll quickly go over all the books that I read in May and give them a little bit of a short rating. Let's get started. Okay, I did not do as well in May as I often do in a month. I only got through 4 books. Mostly just one of them was a real slog. And I don't think it had anything to do with a certain MMO coming out with a Panda related game mode that I really enjoy. Alright, I might have played a bit too much WoW. But right into the books. First off, I read the second book in Ian Douglas's Star Carrier series. This is a great little book and series I've been using kind of as a palate cleanser after I've read some of the harder to read books. It's a short military sci-fi book based on the titular Star Carrier, kind of like an aircraft carrier but in space. And it focuses on the intergalactic war that mankind is involved in with a bunch of alien races. And the Star Carrier, the fleet around it, as they go through battles and operations in this war, and with a main focus on the fighter pilots of the squadrons aboard the Star Carrier. As with the previous book in the series, it's not like the sort of book that's going to keep you up at night or keep you thinking about it all day the next day after you finish it. There's no giant, big, mind-altering concepts in here. It's just like a really good, concise little military sci-fi book, right? The battles are thrilling, the characters are, somewhat two-dimensional, but good enough for the story that they're telling. There's a bit more politics in this one than there was in the previous one, so it's really nice to see the background of that. Some people find like political maneuvering and whatnot a negative in a book, but I really enjoy that sort of thing. The background plot of the the intergalactic war that's going on is really interesting. There's mysteries about who the aliens are, what they want, why they're persecuting this war against us. And it does say some interesting stuff about the evolution of humanity and technology, and how important that is to the core of who we are as a species. And yeah, look, mostly it's spaceships in space shooting at each other, and that's sort of just my jam sometimes. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. For what it is, I think it's like a 4-star read. And when I give these ratings, it's a 4-star read for a military sci-fi book, right? Like, it's not a 4-star read for an epic like Dune. They wouldn't compare. But, for what it is, yeah, 4 stars. Up next, I read Whalefall, which has the best cover I've seen all year. And I actually have a full review of that on the channel, so the video should be up somewhere on the screen right now. But, long story short, man's dad dies, man goes swimming, man gets swallowed by a whale, man cries about daddy issues the entire book. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it for what it is. It's a pretty tight little underwater thriller. Anything underwater is fantastic. It adds that sense of like urgency and claustrophobia that I love. It was pointed out to me in my Whalefall review in the comments that it's basically just another cave book. I just uploaded my cave book recommendations and then I uploaded this one. And yeah, it basically kind of is an underwater cave book, except the cave is a whale. It's 3-star read. Pretty good. If you're interested, I reckon you should check it out. You're alright. You're okay. You don't need to yell at the other doggies. Up next, we finished The Forge of God. Not only do I have a review up that you can check out up here, I also have a playlist of my read-along series for this book. So for that one, it was a video about every week where I read 30 pages, talk about what happened in those 30 pages, talk about what I liked, what I thought was going to happen next, what mysteries are going on, and kind of like a mini review as we went through the whole book. So if you're interested in that, you can check out the review or you can check out the read-along. Overall, though, it's a pretty good disaster book. It's kind of an end-of-the-world series book. Two different groups of aliens land on Earth giving different information. One saying that they come in peace and you're about to enter the great galactic empire and whatnot. And another one landing saying, don't listen to them, they're lying, they're about to destroy your planet. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I'm struggling a bit with Greg Bear. It's just not hitting the tone that I want in the books of his that I've read so far. But it does have some really epic chapters. It's got a pretty satisfying conclusion. The mystery at the core of it is great. The characters aren't fantastic. But the storyline's good. It's well told. Overall, about a 3-star read. And finally, the book that ate the majority of my month is Lord Valentine's Castle by Robert Silverberg. This is book 6 of my fantasy reading challenge, where I'm trying to get into fantasy as a genre because I've always been a sci-fi horror reader. So I'm reading and reviewing 10 fantasy books this year. And yeah, as I said, this is book 6. And so far, this has been the hardest of all of them. Lord Valentine's Castle has perhaps the best world building I've read in a very long time. The world of 𝕤𝕤𝕝 is amazing. It's this gigantic planet with several different continents on it that are huge, with gigantic populations, filled with humans and alien races that have all settled here in the far distant past. Technology has receded from those like spacefaring days, so there's still some technology that works, like hover cars and stuff, but mostly we're in like a fantasy setting. And the world building is just exquisite, and the storytelling in it is, for the most part, disappointing. The first half of the book is fantastic. The setup for the plot is great. Amnesic man wakes up and discovers that he's supposed to be the king. I'm going to have a full review up for this one, so I'll only go into it kind of briefly here. But yeah, the setup of the story is fantastic. Introductions of the characters are fantastic. It's just all the storytelling is just entirely let down by the second half of the book, really, where we kind of lose all the character work that we really enjoyed. All the back half of the book is full of like chapter-long problems that occur that get solved in a paragraph or so, and they basically all get solved in the same way. I'm the king. No, you're not. But what if I am? My lord. And that happens like 10, 12 times, and it's so disappointing because the first half of the book, the setup is really interesting. I love the traveling together, and I know I will have a video up in the next week or so, so you'll be able to see my full review for there. But right now, it's about a 2-star read, and yeah, it took me like 3 weeks to get through, which is a long time for a book of this size for me. So there you have it. Not my best month of reading. Nothing outstanding really to talk about. Nothing mind-breaking. Already in June, I've read one book that I think is much more interesting. There'll also be a review of that coming up, and it'll be in my June recap at the end of the month. So yeah, I think June is shaping up to be a bit of a better month than May was. As far as reading goals go, I think I'm at like 35 out of 50 books, so still smashing that. There's no problems there. And bingo's going great. I think I'm at 4 or 5 out of 25 in bingo, so I'm really enjoying that one. If you want to check out my bingo series, it starts right up here. But yeah, how did your May go? How many books did you read? What was your favourite book? Is there anything you're looking forward to reading in June that's like really get you excited? I think I'm going to read The Lies of 𝐓𝐿𝐴𝐼 in June, and I'm really excited to get into that one. It's been suggested to me by a lot of people. Anyway, I'd love if you could leave a like if you like these sort of wrap-up videos, or subscribe and hit that bell so you get notified when my reviews come up. If you want to pick up any of the books I talked about, there's some Amazon affiliate links in the description below that just help the channel out a little bit. And if you want to check out any of my book reviews, the playlist should be on screen right about now. But mostly, just remember to keep reading.